Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to cover 5 commonly used Latin and Greek roots in English. It's important to understand Latin and Greek roots because they are used a lot in the English language, and these smaller chunks of words can be combined to help you to understand larger concepts. If you understand the smaller chunks of words, when you see a new larger word, you can then infer what the definition is based on what you know of those root words. The first word we're going to cover is prim. This is a Latin root that means first. We use this root in words like primary. Primary means something that is at the top or first in an ordered list. Primary. Using the word primary could also be an indication of something that happened first in a time sequence. You will see this root used in the commonly used word primitive. Primitive is used to describe typically early humans, or what people would think of as first humans. First, primitive. Another commonly found use of this root is in the word prime. It's almost the exact same word, it just has an E on the end. We use this word to indicate something that is not only first, but also the best. It has an excellent quality. The next root we're going to cover is Greek, and it's the Greek root prot for first as well. If you see prim or prot, they mean the same thing approximately, both indicate first. A commonly found use of this root is in the word protagonist. A protagonist is a character in a story who is the lead or the hero. Another very commonly used word that uses the root prot is the word prototype. Businesses will use this word when they're working on an early version of whatever product they're going to sell. A prototype. The next root we're going to cover is Latin, and it's the root priv. Priv is a root that means own or ownership. We see this root used in the word private. Private is a word that means something that is owned by you as an individual. Oftentimes when we use the word private, we also mean that it is not public or not available to people in the general public. A commonly used idiom, especially when you're talking to children in the United States, is that they will call your genitals your private parts. This indicates that they're not something to be shared necessarily with all of the world. Another word that uses this root is the word privilege. The French coined this term when they were looking for a word to describe something that the government had given to other citizens or to other members of the government. So you see, the first part of the word priv means own, and elege is from the word liege, which means the king or the government. So it was something directly bestowed upon you by the government, a privilege. Another word that uses this root is the word privy. This word is more commonly used in the United Kingdom than it is in the United States, but it's a good one to understand. Privy is a good word to use when you're talking about something that only you and a couple other people know about. If you're privy to information, that means that it's fairly private and only you and a few other people know what that information is. You're privy to it. The next root is Latin, and it's the root de. The definition of this root is down, away from, or removing. You see this root used in the word delete. As you see on your keyboard, the word delete means to remove something, delete. Another word that uses this root is the word dementia. Dementia is a disease that happens usually to people who are older as their mind starts to decay and they have trouble accessing older memories and thoughts. A good way to think about dementia is that you're moving away from what would be normally healthy brain activity. The last word that uses this root, I want you to guess what this means. Deprive. Deprive. We just covered what priv means, so what do you think the word deprive means? Prive means ownership. Deprive, moving away from. Deprive means to take something from someone else. Deprive. The last root we're going to cover is onym. This is a Greek root that means name. We'll see this root used commonly in the word acronym. Acronyms are used in places of phrases or names of things when we all can kind of assume what they are and designate them by just the first initial of every word, like USA. United States of America, or EU, European Union. Acronyms are useful because every time you want to say United States of America, you don't have to say the whole thing, you can just use the initials USA. Another word that we use a lot is homonym. Homonym is the word that we use to describe two words that are spelled the same or sound the same but have different meanings. The last word we're going to talk about, I also want you to guess. Pseudonym. We covered this word and the root pseudo in an earlier video, I think from last week. Pseudonym. Do you remember? Pseudo means false. So pseudonym means false name. People use this word to refer to a writer who likes to write under a false name or a pseudonym. A pseudonym is also something a celebrity might use when they're trying to check into a hotel and they don't want people to know where they're staying. A pseudonym. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We post 5 days a week, and in those 5 videos we cover phonetics, graphemes, vocabulary, grammar, idioms, and pretty much anything else that you can think of when you need to learn English. This is really your one-stop shop. A little bonus idiom, one-stop shop means somewhere you can go to get everything. A one-stop shop. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next.